Okay, the time has come to open up the archive of failed five-of-a-kind attempts and and show how miserable it can be at times trying to do these challenges. So some of these runs are from quite a while ago. So there's probably some that go back to the end of September, but there's also a few that are very recent. So here we pick up a 5-elephant attempt. Probably one of the more difficult ones. Well, I guess until someone beats it, it's impossible, isn't it? So this was a really great run where I didn't get seal on turn 7, but on turn 9 I got seal and then double chocolate. So that means that immediately I'm like rapidly outscaling a lot of teams. Unfortunately, probably would have benefited from not being on 9 wins here. If I'd drawn or lost the last game, it might have helped me, because what then happens is you end up having to sell the seal before you really want to, because if I then go into the battle and keep the seal and then I win, then the challenge is lost. It's just lost in a different way, by winning by accident. So here I'm not sure if this is a mistake or not. Spoilers, it doesn't matter what I do here. I don't think there's anything I can do to win. So I had to keep the seal and just hope to lose over and over, and then win on the last life. But what happens is I give the big elephant melon, and one of the reasons that elephant is such a difficult one is because you can only have one melon, because each elephant will remove the melon from the one behind it. So you have to have one at the front, and that's it. I could have probably done and put it on the other one, but here we get very unlucky with the snipe from the... I don't think it makes any difference because they have steak twice there, but the leopard sniped the weakest, the elephant with steak, and resulted in my own elephant killing it. But yeah, again, that was another kind of... maybe I wouldn't say necessarily meta team, but anytime someone's got dodo, big dodo plus big unit at the front plus scalers as well, at least it was rabbit. I think it was rabbit squirrel rather than penguin, monkey, giraffe. But then the final team is another extremely sweaty team with skunk, rooster, dodo, monkey, shark. It's like 5 of the top 10 units probably. I don't know. It made no difference whatsoever. I couldn't have done anything to win any of those games. I had to just hope to go against a weaker team. And here is one where I was going for 5 fish. Now 5 fish has since been completed by infected players, so I'll put a link to that in the description. And at this game I got absolutely crazy luck with even though I had 2 fish frozen, I kept rolling cow. So I had the level 3 cow there, and I think I made a mistake with one of the milks. I put it on the wrong fish. I think I should have put it on the second one instead of the first. Again, this is one where it makes absolutely no difference what I do. I think I would have to get steak on one of the fish to even get a draw here, because it's the generic... This is rapidly becoming one of the most generic team combos I see over and over again, which is bison, then snake behind, and then 2 or 3 of the scaling pets. And you can see there that when you've got 2 base stat fish, you've got no chance. Here's one with ants. I think I've had 3 or 4 runs with 5 ants get to 9 wins, and I'll show another one after this. Here I'm trying to decide, is it better to put the weak ants up front and guarantee that the ant buffs go to the bigger units, or is it better to have the stronger units up front so that they've got more chance of killing things? Unfortunately here it's turn 14, my stats are not really good enough, I don't think. And we go against, I wouldn't say necessarily generic team, but it's got the usual triple scaler, and then we've got the hippo rat combo, which I guess is kind of funny, but I had no chance on that one either. no amount of steak on any of the other pets is going to make a difference, I don't think. Here's one with ants, going for all ants that got all the way up to turn 17. You can see I've got the double cat. I'm trying to decide here if it's worth buying the can. And I think, do I do it? I don't know. I guess I do. It does. I guess it means that you can't. Those ants can't be sniped by mosquitoes. So that's something, I suppose. But here you can see I've got 50-50 ant. But on turn 17, you're going to be going against so many opposing teams that all have 50-50s themselves, or at least 3 or 4. But this one is especially frustrating because watching it back, it is possible for me to win. So here with the chili, I double clear the melon, and if I get the correct, I think if I get the correct sequence of, like, I think if I'd reorder my team slightly, I would have won there. If I get the right ant buffs as well, I think it's still a low percentage chance, but. So just to break up the misery, here is the opposite situation where you end up with winning by accident when you couldn't find the final pet. So here I go against this elephant blowfish team that got to the very late game somehow, and 4 beavers were enough to beat it. So it's kind of bittersweet when that happens, because you know you're probably not going to get back to that position again for quite some time, and then you get a win, but you know it when you've done these challenges long enough, it feels like it just doesn't count unless you got everything, unless you got the full 5. I mean, here's one turn 15, 5 rabbits, 9 wins. I've got 2 light. I can still lose one. And this is another extremely painful one watching it back, because here I lose by 1 HP. So if the 4th rabbit or 3rd rabbit, I don't know which one it was, has 1 extra health, I win. And being short of health is not something that you normally have on the rabbit team. But it just so happened to work out that the breakpoint there with the mosquito resulted in it one-shotting the rabbit instead of me surviving and killing it off. And then again, you can see here yet another example of that exact composition I was talking about, where you see big bison with melon at the front plus snake, and then the generic triple scaling, or I mean, I guess swan isn't scaling, but it pretty much is when it's giving you so much gold per turn. Here's a more exotic one where I went for all spiders, and I guess I just got the cats early and managed to really buff them up, and I just decided to settle for chili and not bother rolling for steak, knowing full well that I was almost guaranteed to lose here. And another dodo rooster. Not much you can do. We even get the sheep spawn at the front for double sheep spawn, but it's not going to help, because you can see in the back they've got level 2 turkey with a 1-up plus cat. It just there's so many of these teams that are like absolute overkill compositions, and we actually get triple sheep. So I can't say I was unlucky there, because I got so many sheep, but it was never going to help me. Here's another one which was unfortunate. Couldn't find enough kangaroos, so I think I wasn't sure here if I should buy the cow and then keep trying to roll for more kangaroos. But once I sell these 2, I'll get 1 roll for a chance to get a kangaroo, and I don't get it. So sell the cat and then just buy the pair. And Kangaroo's ability is actually very good. So although the team looks very weak, having 1 really strong unit at the front is probably going to be enough. And we go against this funny badger at the front team, and the second Kangaroo is level 2 and just make short work of the rest of the team. So that was another sort of how many attempts is it going to take me to get back to this position, but what can you do? You can only take what the shop gives you. Here's one where after seeing Raz post his 5 Badgers win, I thought, yeah, that looks doable. So here I've got, I think what you would probably be a fairly standard setup to try and get this to work is the massive Badger at the front, and then I should probably put one up on, I don't realise I've still got the gold. I should put one up on this Badger and then move it to the back, I guess. The problem is you do end up in a situation here where your Badgers with stake are just going to die due to the splash damage now because the cat's gone. And in the end, I decided to just go for the level 3 there and hope that the next battle's a draw. And it's dog, horse, rooster. One up rooster, one of the most pointless things in the game, but unfortunately I had no way of ever getting past. I really needed to have 2 very large Badgers there to beat that team. So here's a different one where I was very pleased with how things were going, and I was trying to throw. So I think I already threw the previous round by putting my second biggest Badger at the front and the big one with melon behind, and I go against this team which clears the melon on my second Badger, so I get the full brunt of the front Badger's attack. But it doesn't make any difference because the rest of their team's just not good enough to compete. And the very weak Badger at the back wins by accident. I think that one really had a chance if I'd just drawn or lost that game. And here we have the crowning achievement of 5 of a kind fails. 5 rats. I think I've had 3 attempts where I got to 9 wins with 5 rats. And rat is terrible, quite frankly. There was a time where people thought it was not too bad, but it's in pack 1, it's just absolutely horrendous. There are so many opposing pets: kangaroo, ox, snake, dog, horse, shark, turkey. There are so many opposing pets that benefit from the dirty rat. And I go against an opponent with very low HP overall, which initially seems great. But then you realise that not only do they have ox, they have snake as well, and they have 1-up deer at the back. And unfortunately, my back rat has 5 health, and so the bus is going to clear it. And then the rat and the bus are going to trade at the end, and I'm going to lose because of my own dirty rat. That was a true uninstall the game moment.